the Salem Cruise-In at Arby's. And every Saturday night they have some sort of cruise-in. They'll have something different. Tonight they're featuring street rods. And boy, what a perfect summer night for this. Hi, I'm Rick Guerrera for Armstrong Street Scene. Hey, let's go inside and check it out. Standing in front of a 32 Ford 5-window coupe owned by C.W. Field of Mineral Ridge. And C.W.'s not here today. He's the owner, father. We got his son here, Joe Fields. Hi, Joe. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good, good. It's not W.C., it's C.W.
No, it's C.W., yeah.
Okay. Too bad, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
All the money there.
We'd have got it done a long time ago if we were W.C.
Yes, sir. So this is a really sharp-looking ride you got here.
Thanks.
Your dad bought this how long ago?
He bought it in 1958 when he was 15 years old. He paid $100 for it. And he grew up in Cumberland, Maryland. And about 1974, he brought it up to Ohio. And it's been in a garage ever since he bought it. He never had it outside of a garage. Even to this day, it's in a garage all the time. He's got a 350 Chevy underneath it and everything.
What did it look like when he bought it? Pretty bad, or?
No, it was in really good shape. Back in the 60s, he used to actually stock car race it.
Oh, he used to race it?
Yeah, when he got it, it had a flat head motor in it.
Okay.
And then he put a 454 Olds rocket engine in it.
That'll do it.
And when he told me and my brother, we got to change engines because you guys will kill yourself in that car.
Yeah, really?
And just a little bit too much power, so that's when he decided.
So he's not really concerned about the power right now. He's just concerned about the looks. 350.
Yeah, just for the looks.
That's a nice cruising engine.
Yeah, he likes to just get around the shows and enjoy himself. And
So what are we talking here? This is basically a stock 32 Ford, right? 5-window coupe. They call us a 5-window coupe because.
Yeah, because of the way the windows are.
Okay,
the two on the side.
Okay, you got 3 in the back. That's pretty unusual though, right? They're not all like that.
No, they're not all like that. A lot of times the 32 5-windows, real rare. They don't usually have the windows in the back.
I see this one's got air conditioning, huh?
Yeah, it's got air by opening up the windows and opening up the cowling in the front there, and you can get some air coming in through you.
Probably works pretty good, huh?
Yeah, it does. The hotter you are, the faster you want to go. But,
and I noticed there's a crank on the back window too.
Yeah, the crank on the back window so you can lower the back window down.
Oh, it lowers down?
Yeah, it lowers down in there just like your side windows does.
Oh, that's neat. I've never seen that. That's stock.
Yeah, that was stock.
Wow, that's pretty nice.
But yeah, this original steel frame and everything, steel body.
Well, we're in the interior here. Let's talk about the interior. What did your dad have done to that?
It's a bench. It's not the original bench seat out of it, but it's a bench remake of it. He had the interior done up in Portland, Ohio by TNT. And
how long ago was that done?
A little over a year ago. And me and my dad and my brother and his friend Leo Marple, we worked on it. And my daughter Bailey and my nephew Hunter, we worked on it all the time.
Oh, so it's a family affair.
Yeah,
That's
we worked on it quite a bit, and then just it takes a lot of time and everything. And then we got to the point that we had to let somebody else do the finishing touches on it.
It's good to get the whole family involved. Everybody appreciates it.
Yeah, it does.
It's just like it's sentimental. You'll never get rid of this.
Exactly, and in fact, that's how he has it in his will. That he hasn't said what's going to happen to it, but it's never allowed to be sold.
Really?
It has to stay in the family forever.
Tell me about the gauges and everything you got in there. Are you familiar with those?
They're gold. They're it's the same kind of pattern that they used to use back then, back in them days. There's not a whole lot of room on the inside of them.
Right.
They weren't, apparently back them days, they were a lot smaller people than we are today.
And we're just healthy as that.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing he did do, compared to a lot of guys, they take the back shelf out, and that way they get a little more room for driving. He left the back shelf in it to keep a little more original and stuff like that. So.
I see you got an antenna on this.
Yeah, they didn't originally come with a radio or anything. When he bought it, it had a radio in it and the antennas on it, so we left the antenna in there and had a hard time figuring how to put the radio we mounted it up in the top up there.
Oh, there it is. I was looking for it. I go, where the heck's it?
Yeah, it's mounted up in the top up there, and they upholstered around and everything.
That looks nice. Nice and clean looking, yeah.
Yeah, but
you know what color this is?
it's a burgundy type red color. He's always had, when he bought it, it was a burgundy, and it was burgundy and black, just like this, a little bit different shade. And he wanted to keep it pretty much the same.
All steel?
Yeah, it's all steel.
Fenders?
Except for the fenders are fiberglass.
Okay,
so.
glass fenders. Okay.
Yeah.
How about the engine? Let's check out the engine
All right.
under the hood here. Looks like a 350 small block.
Yeah, you're correct. It's a 350 small block out of a Chevy Camaro. We
got hooker headers on it.
Yep. Yeah, we got hookers headers. Steering was a little bit tricky back in that, trying to get them all through there with all the knuckles, as you can see, and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, I was noticing that. Look at that thing. It works pretty good though.
Yeah, and you can look all over the place in the front. The battery's not in the front for it; it's actually in the back. We got it covered up in the back trunk. We got a little box in over the back.
How's it run for you? Pretty good?
Oh yeah, it runs really nice. No power steering. You got a band steering to get it, turn it in and stuff. So, but when you're moving, it goes. It's you steer.
It's not probably not fast, but it's a nice cruiser though, right?
It's got some get up and go in it. Yeah, it's nice to drive down the road. It's fun to drive it, even if you're at a red light. The light turns green, people wave you on.
Sure.
They want to check them out, and that's kind of fun.
It's a head turner. It sure is, Joe.
It's a lot of fun.
With me, we have a 5-time national champion drag racer, Francis Kreider from Salem, Ohio.
Yep.
5 times?
5 times, yes sir.
What did you race?
I raced, over the years, I raced a C dragster, a B dragster, an A dragster, and an A street roadster.
What's the difference? We'll start with the C.
Well, dragsters are a long wheelbase car with high-powered motors. Some have blowers on, some don't.
Right.
I never ran a blower. I ran strictly gasoline, and I found that by doing the ingenuity in the engine and in the gear department and getting the thing right and learning to be a good driver, got you to run first place. You had to be good when you came to the line. Today they don't have those. You don't have to be good today. You got the computer to run the car. Back in those days, the driver was the most instrumental piece of the car.
Hey Francis, this car of yours is just a beaut, and it's just like, it's a 33 Cadillac LaSalle. Wait a second here. Cadillac LaSalle. Tell me about this now. Did Cadillac make LaSalle, or was LaSalle a separate?
They made Cadillac for years, and when they decided to make an offspring of it for poorer people that didn't have quite as much money to pay for them, they made a cheaper model called the LaSalle. But in all righteousness, it was made as an expensive car too.
Right.
And you can tell by the chrome pieces that you see on it, that's all pretty much original.
Right. Did it have the Cadillac badges on it and everything?
Yes.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cadillac serial number even. I still have the serial numbers on this car.
Okay.
So.
And this one's definitely not stock. You got it chopped and everything. How much did you take out of the
I
roof?
call it a resto rod because it's 99% pure as it was. I've lowered it about 9 inches.
The roof.
I've chopped the top 3 inches.
Okay.
And I
you lowered the body 9 inches. Okay.
I lowered the suspension. This has a Chrysler torsion bar suspension underneath the front end, like they would have in a Chrysler Newport.
Right.
The torsion bars, it rides like a Cadillac.
Oh, great.
It really does. You know, most cars today go bumpity bumpity bump, but this one doesn't. At 80 miles an hour, it drives across Kansas just as slick as a snail.
And you told me, how many miles have you put on this?
I've got 60,800 and some odd miles on it right now as we stand here.
Since you rebuilt it and everything.
Yes.
Tell me about this. This is a 33 LaSalle. Where'd you find it at? And how long ago?
I started looking when I retired from racing in about 77, 78. And I got a an advertisement for Old Cars Weekly. So I started watching it, and I kept watching it, and I kept watching for a four-door. I wanted a four-door car
So you knew what you
because
wanted, okay.
I didn't want to travel alone, and I didn't want to travel without another couple with us. So, and everybody sort of ridiculed me because I wanted to build a four-door, and I said, well, that's what I want,
Right.
you know? So I decided, when I found this, I found it in Old Cars Weekly. And it amazed me to find out that it was in the town that I live in. And it was
Right around the corner.
It was a big car.
Uh-huh.
And to make it more unique, I knew the guy that owned it. I didn't know that he had it. And when he showed it to me, it was in a barn in a million pieces, covered with straw.
So this is a true barn find.
A true barn find, yes.
And what kind of shape was it in?
Terrible. Most people wouldn't have started on it. You know, most people would want to restore a car that they found. This was not a restorable piece. This is something that would take much more work than restoring.
Right.
There were 6 inches gone off of the bottoms of the doors.
Right.
You know, the fenders weren't in the best of shape, and I had to do a lot of work on them, and I had to hand make the running boards.
On both sides? You were just,
On both
just
sides.
rotted out?
Both, they were rotted away. They weren't there. They weren't there. And it used to have, in the roof, it had the roof, the canvas roof, like some cars had back in those days, you know. And I decided that I would like to have a solid roof in it. So I went to the boneyard and I got me the roof out of an Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser.
And what did you have to do to make it fit? It looks like it belongs on here.
Well, it does. It does look like it belongs on there. But the whole thing is, I had to put a piece between here and here, and I had to go and build all of this stuff back here. This is out of a Vista Cruiser, and I had to put pieces in here about that wide, make it longer there so I could fit it, and then worked it all off.
Oh, okay.
And you have to, you know, it has a few flaws on it,
Right.
but if you look at the car, it's in pretty decent shape for 60,000 miles and 26 years of driving.
Yeah, you got that right. It's a beauty. All right, Francis, let's check out this interior in this 33 LaSalle. Tell us about it. That's not the stock steering column or anything, is it?
I believe it's 1962 Thunderbird with a tilt cantaway in it. And the reason I wanted that is because I'm a long-legged person. So I found one up in Michigan and had it shipped in. And then I altered it so that it would be what I wanted.
Right.
And installed it in the car. And amazingly, the dash is almost 100% original, with the exception of the gauges. But the gauges that I bought turned out to fit exactly in the same holes that the Cadillac.
So you didn't have to cut
gauges.
anything?
I didn't have to cut anything.
How about the seats? What are the seats out of?
The seats, the front seats are out of the Pontiac Knight Rider. Is that what they call it?
Trans Am.
Trans Am.
Okay.
Trans Am front seats.
Okay.
And then the rear seat.
You got so much room back there.
This is actually the front seat out of a Dodge Laser.
Oh,
Do you remember they made the Laser years ago?
Yeah,
well, that's the front seat, and we narrowed it, and those back seats tilt forward so you can get behind them.
Okay, what about the toggle switches on there? What are those for?
I built a console from front to rear, and the toggle switches are there to accommodate the ladies. So if they drop something on the floor, you can hit one toggle switch and light the place up.
On the floor,
yeah, and you can light the other ones, and you can sit there and read while we're traveling across country.
And you got reading lights?
Yeah.
And also I see you've got a clock in there?
Yeah, put the clock in there so they can know what time it is.
This is a comfort ride, man, a Resto-mod. I have Weldon McKinley from Salem, Ohio, originally from New Hampshire, right?
Correct.
Yeah, and you in front of his 1929 Ford A. How long have you owned this?
Well, I started driving it in 1953, my senior year of high school. And I told my dad I would take care of it.
So it was your dad's before that?
Yes.
And how long?
And I'm still taking care of it.
And you could get parts for this all over the place. I
Oh
know
yes,
that.
yes.
I know you get them from Snyder's, who's
Yeah.
a friend of the show, big friend of the show.
Well, the story is I was told when I was little that he bought it when I was a baby. 30 bucks.
He bought it used for 30 bucks.
30 bucks.
Wow.
So I used to have to walk to the village, which was 2 miles. My freshman year of high school, and it was 15 miles to the high school by bus. The sophomore and the junior year, I had me a bike. So when I got my license from my senior year, I asked him if I could drive this.
And was he driving it at the time?
No.
No, okay.
It was set and collecting snow. So he allowed me to drive it. And from time to time, I would take it all the way to the high school. That's why on my picture in the window there, they accused me of being a hot rod in my Model A. They was referring me that I was driving this car.
Okay.
Now, my sister-in-law, I was in hopes was going to be here. She lives here in Ohio. She graduated the same year.
Oh, okay.
So she was going to be my witness.
Oh, okay. So tell me about it. Is this all stock?
Yes.
Everything's stock, huh?
Yes, it's all stock. I don't know whether you read what was on the window there or not.
I read a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. And that pretty much wraps up the story, other than the fact that the wife helped me put it back together, because after I had it all apart, all over the garage, I come down with cancer, and once I got through that, she helped me finish it up.
These are pretty simple cars to fix though, aren't they?
I had to replace the wood in the roof. She helped me put on the roof, helped me reupholster the whole side, inside, which is a kit from LeBaron Bonney in Massachusetts that makes duplicate interiors.
Oh, okay. So that's basically a stock interior then? Stock,
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So it's got a little bit of work it needs done. And I sort of quit on it and just drive it and enjoy it.
Yeah, sure. Great. Probably gets great gas mileage too, huh?
Well, when I belonged to the AAA club back in the mid-50s, they did an economy run, the club did, and they got 20 miles to the gallon. Now, whether they do any better than that since then, I don't know.
What are you sporting underneath the hood there? Is that a 4-cylinder?
I've added a switch here to disconnect the battery when it's stored.
So those are the original spark plug wires. Oh, so they're basic. They're not like the spark plug wires of nowadays. They're like wire. Yeah.
But
so when you said they were the original spark plug wires, I go, how the heck that happened? They're usually rubber or something, you know.
Well, I like to tell the people that because they find it interesting, and when I lift the hood up and show them that, that's usually the first time they've seen anything like that.
Yeah. Those aren't the original spark plugs though, right?
No.
Okay. From right down the road here from Berlin Center, we got Jerry Rossler with his, 61 Ford Falcon.
gasser.
Gasser.
Yeah.
That it is.
Yes. It's,
So, go ahead.
it's an original gasser from the late 60s.
Uh-huh.
You know, now you buy a kit and make it.
Right.
This one was raced in Hawaii in the late 60s and 70s as a gasser in Jeep class.
Uh-huh.
So
this one comes right from Hawaii.
yes.
I don't picture Hawaiians racing cars there, you know.
No, but they have 3 drag strips. You know,
okay.
in the main island they have 1 or 2. I don't know which one, but they have 3 total.
Uh-huh.
So, and the guy bought it off of my friend Mark Gonzalez. He raced,
Uh-huh.
and he loved this car. He got it and restored it and showed it.
And why did you pick a 61 Falcon?
Well, I had a 63 Falcon in high school that I raced, and it wasn't this nice, this bigger motor, but it was, you know, fun. I raced it, and I went to find it again, and I couldn't find it, so I had to get another one.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't as nice as this one because, you know, back then,
Right.
with this one,
So what are you sporting here, and what kind of engine is this?
it's a 351 30 over with a Mooneyham blower.
A Mooneyham blower.
Yes, and it's 12 under on the blower pulleys to drive it on the street. I get it tamed down, and the car's just a blast. It's fun to drive. You get looks. You know, people
You
wonder.
sure do.
Yeah.
You sure do. This thing looks like it's going to take off and fly, you know.
Yeah, it has some power and it's fun. You
It
know,
probably weighs what? 25, 2,700 pounds?
yeah, 28 something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not very much there.
Yeah.
Hey, let
So
me ask you something about the blower. What does a blower do?
it compresses the air into the cylinder,
Okay.
and that's why I have it reduced 12 under, because with you race it at 20 over, 30 over, you know, if you're really pushing it. But you could blow the pistons out if you get driving it on the street. It's fine. You want it lower, so you could drive it.
What kind of carbs you sporting under that?
Those are Edelbrocks, and did some work to them, the jets and everything, to get everything work right. And it's tuned, it runs good. But I haven't raced it since I had it because it's too expensive.
Oh yeah.
And I took the roll cage out and need another one. So when I do that, I'll take it down to the Quaker City and give it a spin.
Have some fun with it.
Yeah,
And that's when you got to pull the wallet out and say, okay.
that's a big
So
part.
you don't blow things up in it, huh?
Yeah. Of course, it has a C4 transmission
Okay.
from Rossler Transmissions.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's for your brother, I guess.
Yeah, that's my brother's shop in Girard, Ohio.
Did he do it for you?
No, I did it myself. He said he's not doing it. I know how to do them. So, yeah, it's a really fun car. Me and my wife go to car shows local. And I send pictures of it at the car show to the guy I bought it from, and he's jealous.
Yeah, sure.
And his friends ask him, what car would you ever want back? And he'd always say the Falcon, because that was his favorite too.
got Al Schnorenberg here with his 33 Ford 3-window coupe. Earlier we did someone with a 5-window coupe.
Yeah, the 5 windows were around then too. But there's a lot less 3 windows back in those days than there are. They manufactured way less of the 3-window.
So this is really nice, Al.
Well, thank you.
So tell me about it.
Well, I've had it about 7 years, and I've built up a number of them prior to this, and this one came from New Jersey, it's a speed shop, a hot rod shop in New Jersey. Did a lot of the work on it, and I bought it then shortly thereafter, and I've had strictly street rods, what I consider classic street rods, most of my life, and that from when I was a teenager till my past 70th here birthday recently. So
you say your wife's into cars more than you.
Oh,
so is
yeah.
that how you met your wife?
Yes, I met her in high school, and that's what she claims. That's why she married me, because of the cars.
That's what it's all about, right?
I had a '57 Chevy back then, and she liked that real well, and that's how we got together in that. So, yeah, she's
been married how many years?
And 53 years in that. So, but she likes cars as much or more than I do, actually. She's a big car enthusiast, and she knows the makes and models of all the ones, especially hot rod stuff. You know, she sees it on satellite TV. And sees a lot of this old stuff. So, and then came the muscle cars after these, years after these. So.
So tell me about this one. The roof on it, you've got this lowered?
Yeah, it's been chopped. Yeah, at this shop. 4 inches, I believe it was.
Okay.
And 4-inch chop, and the door handles are removed, and the hinges are back here. Back from the stock. From the factory, there's 3 hinges, and those have been.
This is a suicide door.
And it's a suicide door. Yeah, it opens from the front. It opens from the front and hinged at the back. So
it's considered a high boy.
And it's considered. Yeah, they consider them a high boy, and that's just a name they attach to them. Right. The early stuff, the Model A's and the early '30s stuff. Became what is known as high boys when they were fenderless. Right. It mainly means the fenders were removed, and they were considered high boys then. And it refers to the fact that they haven't been channeled. They used to take and channel the body down over the frame, and then they didn't call them low boys, but that's the difference. But a high boy, that hasn't been done. Now on these 33s and 34s, that's the 2 years that are very similar on the body, they're already channeled from the factory a few inches, right from the factory, where a 32 Ford sits up on the frame in that. So that's the main difference there. And then it's got the headers and that.
You're sporting a what, 350 Chevy?
It's a 350 Chevy, and Edelbrock carburetor in that, and it's a low-profile carburetor.
Did you do anything to it?
And it's got a racing cam in it, and it idles. Well, it idles kind of rough at stoplights, and it kind of scares them. And they don't fool with me, you know what I mean?
Mess with the old guy. Come on.
And it shakes the whole car, you know what I mean? So. Yeah, it does that. And then this front end is not the stock one that came from the factory with the dropped axle like a lot of them have. It's what they call a height front end, and it uses the coil springs. I prefer the older type front ends. I think they look nicer. They don't ride as nice.
Yeah, I was going to say this is probably more for comfort.
Well, yeah, and then it has rack and pinion steering up there. The steering goes down and over to the rack. And there's a rack in there that they call it rack and pinion steering, and it'll needle down the highway real nice like a race car would, and it makes it run out on the open road better. The handle, I should say. It doesn't make it run better, but it handles better. So
this is a good cruiser then.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's good for that. You can take it anywhere. You can go across the country in it even.
Tell me about the interior.
The interior is black Naugahyde, and I don't have.
Those are aftermarket seats in it?
Yeah, the seats are aftermarket. They're black Naugahyde also. And there isn't much to the interior because the inside it's like a cockpit, it's quite small. And that steering column is called an I did it steering column. And that's what, of course, came in there. And then there's the Stewart Warner gauges that are mounted across the dash there. And you pretty well know what's going on. You know, you can just follow across and see what your engine's doing.
You got air conditioning in it?
And it's got air. Yeah, it's got air conditioning.
I'm looking at it, what is that?
Yeah, it's got air conditioning and everything, automatic transmission, the turbo 350 transmission in that.
So you're not only looking cool, you're feeling cool too.
Oh yeah,
Got the windows up.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, it's a lot. And some of the guys that have power steering, I never got around to getting power steering in it, but it's a light enough car that it gets along pretty well without the power steering, you know.
Right.
But
I see you got some nice graphics on there.
Yeah, that's the fellow up north of here that did that. Guy Shively. Guy Shively.
That's a heck of a job.
Yeah, he's done hundreds and hundreds of cars literally around this area, especially. It's one of the standouts, you know, of that. And he does scalloping and flaming and that sort of thing on cars too. But the pinstriping is the one that he does the most of. And he's very, very good. He does it all freehand. And that's what he did on this one.
You are watching Street Scene.
Okay, today we're at Buckeye Restoration. Once again, we got Nate Miller with us.
How you doing again today? All right, what we're going to do in this segment is here, we're going to pre-prime a 347 stroker Ford motor. This is a 1973 block that was stroked to 347 cubes. What most people don't know is today's oil has no zinc in it. Without zinc in a camshaft, flat tappet camshaft, or even a hydraulic cam, initial startup you can destroy the engine, okay, because no zinc in the oil. So we're taking the most zinc oil today is a diesel motor oil called Rotella T. Okay, we're going to put this in here, and we're going to add an ounce of cam shield. This puts the zinc back in the oil. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm Carson here, put the oil in the motor, all right, and what we'll do is, most people don't do this either, is put a little oil on the, well, you already did that, we'll do it again, so film.
Okay. Lubricate the gasket, make sure it's all clean
Put it
and
on
everything.
there. And we'll probably didn't take the tape off yet. So you forgot.
Freshly painted Ford blue.
Yep.
Hey, this is Johnny Carson helping us out here.
He's a little shy for the camera, yep.
I bet you get that all the time, right, John? One of those older guys who know who Johnny Carson is, or was.
Okay, he's got that on there. I'm going to start dumping the oil in here in the distributor hole since we have no valve covers on.
So is this the oil you're going to keep in here then?
We'll run it for about 500 miles or so, braking oil. But it's a diesel oil, and like I said, it's got the zinc in it you need. And that cam shield will up the zinc level.
So once you take this oil out, would you replace it with the same?
You still got to add the zinc additive to it.
Okay. So on my 69,
you have to put zinc back in the oil.
Oh, I've never done that.
No, that's a little thing that nobody knows about, and a lot of people are destroying their camshafts.
Oh. So is this a little bit more expensive, the diesel oil?
Yes. And that camshaft stuff is about $10 an ounce. We're going to prime the pump. Now, when the pump's primed, it's going to fill the filter, and you'll see oil come out of the
so I better back off then.
The valve. Well, usually it's not too messy, but I'm going to hit the pin down here. I got to go the right way here. Make sure I'm going reverse. Yeah, we got oiled all the lifters on this side. How are we doing on that side? You all good?
It's coming out now. Yeah, it's coming out now. So what were you doing when you were doing
Spinning
that?
the oil pump shaft.
Oh, the oil pump shaft.
Yeah,
not
that the
shaft.
distributor sits on.
Okay, not the cam or anything like that. Just
Nope,
the oil
just
pump
the oil
shaft.
pump shaft.
And the oil pump shaft pumps it up into the heads.
Yep, and counterclockwise.
Okay, is that a special oil pump you have in this stroker motor?
It's a high performance. That's why it's a little difficult to pump the oil. So high pressure. But yeah, it's good to go. We're gonna put the water pump on now and get that going.
I'm standing with Sam Cecilia in front of his 1978 Corvette. And we saw you at the Corvette show there a couple weeks ago.
Exactly, at Greenwood,
and I
yes.
think we missed you there and thought we got you here.
Okay,
this
good,
This
thank
is an
you.
interesting car here.
It is very interesting. It has a great history with it. What it is, it's all original, number one. It's got 25,000 miles on it. And if you don't know much about the Corvette history, it is the first car to run at the Indy 500, first Corvette. And it has a lot of special features on it, the CV radio, and again, it's all original and it all works.
Right.
And one of the big highlights on this car was the person that owned it, and he's a famous Hall of Famer, plus he's a senator of Kentucky. His name is Jim Bunning.
Who did he play for?
He played for, I'm glad you asked that, he played for Detroit Tigers, I'm sorry. He started there in 55. He pitched a no-hitter, and this is a good story here. He pitched a no-hitter, and on the last inning of the 9th inning, his manager told him, "Do not pitch to Ted Williams." Well, he did, and he struck him out.
Okay.
Yeah, so he pitched a no-hitter.
Okay.
And then he went to Philadelphia, and this is a great story also. On Father's Day, on June 21st, 1964, he pitched the perfect game.
Those are very rare.
Which was never been done in the National League. 1880 was the last time that was done. So, and then he retired from baseball in 1972, went into politics. He bought this in 77, new. And then he started climbing the ladder, and he got to be senator of Kentucky. And he retired 3 years ago. So, that was his car.
How long have you owned it now?
5 years.
5 years, okay.
And again, it's all original. The tires are the only thing that aren't original on it, but everything else is original on it. Very proud of, and get quite a few people looking at it,
Sure,
especially
sure.
with the history.
It's a beaut, sure is.
Thank you, thank you.
Sure is. I got Gary and Robert Beitzel from Salem, Ohio. We're in front of your 351 1970 Mach 1.
Yes.
How's it going?
Good. How about yourself?
Good, good. Tell me about your car here.
My lovely wife bought this for me for my 50th birthday. And of course I had the car repainted and did a couple other little things
What
to
color
it.
was it?
Original
Same
color,
color?
same
Okay.
color orange, right. But she's got a 351 Cleveland pushing like 600 horsepower.
Oh, you got 600 horsepower in this?
Yes.
This is what, the 351 Cleveland?
Clevelander, right.
Okay, first year for the Cleveland.
Yes.
Okay, because I have the 351 of my Cougar. It's a Windsor. That's a 69.
Right.
So I figured this must be the first year for the Cleveland.
Right.
Which is a lot of guys like because it's easier to build up and it's a big block, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Right. Well, it's like the Windsor. They were middle of the road blocks.
Right.
They
right.
weren't a big block, weren't a small
But if
block.
someone builds them, they like to get the Cleveland, though.
Yes.
I think. Yeah.
Yes. That's the one it's hard to break.
Yeah.
It's hard to break.
I won't break mine. I'm
it's-
gentle with mine.
And it's real easy to get more horsepower out of.
What are you pushing in this?
Like I said, this is about 600 horsepower.
600 horsepower. Okay, you built it and everything? Good, good.
Oh, it'll be a thrill.
And you had this how long now?
2 years.
2 years? What color is this? Is this grabber orange? Am I right?
No, this is competition orange.
Competition orange.
Yes, this is
okay.
competition orange. It actually, one of the neat things about this car, which wasn't known until after the fact, but it was a 99th car built that year.
Oh, okay.
So it's under the first 100 cars off the line.
Okay. And it's a Mach 1 too.
It is.
How many Mach 1s they build? You remember?
No. Well, it was a lot.
Because Mach 1s right now are starting to pick up in value.
I might be wrong on my figure, but it seemed like I read somewhere 18,000, 20,000 in that year.
The Mach 1s?
Yeah, that year.
Okay.
But don't quote me on it. I read it somewhere, but I don't remember off the top of my head. You know what I mean?
But what's so special about this car? You were what, your 50th birthday?
Well, actually, when I was 18, I had one of these.
Okay.
And the only reason I sold it is I'm from Canton originally, and the cops down there just didn't like cars that ran with open
Went over the
headers.
speed limit, right.
Well, open headers too, and I could outrun them, but sooner or later they figured out where I lived and they just waited for me to come home.
It sat in front of your doorstep.
So I got tired of that. That's why I sold it. But when I started dating her, I always told her someday, I'm gonna have another one.
So how'd you end up with this one?
A lot of friends and family members pulled together. We raised money and collected money so that we could buy this for Gary for his 50th birthday.
So this is a birthday present?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, this is a birthday present,
That's
correct.
super.
Originally, Gary wanted a blue one, like his original one that he had when he was 18. But when we purchased this one, it was orange. And it came with the build sheet. So this one had to
you
stay
hate to change.
orange.
Yeah, you have to keep it stock, sure.
Yes.
Sure. With me, I have John Schweitzer from New Waterford. How's it going?
Just fine. How are you doing?
Ah, hanging in there.
Okay.
We've seen you coming in here with this pink Cadillac, huh?
You can't miss it.
Yeah, you sure can, huh? 59 pink Cadillac. What kind is this? A Coupe de Ville?
Right.
How long have you owned her?
About 10 years.
Did you buy it like this?
No, I've done a lot of restoring to it. The car came from California. I've had it for, like I said, about 10 years. Came from California. The car has got truly 30,000 miles on the car.
Oh, that's it?
Original miles. It's documented, and it's a true factory pink car, but I changed the pink and made it this pink. And it had a white top, had a black and white interior, and I changed the interior of it. And I put on the Continental kit on the back.
Yeah, that's pretty, where'd you pick up something like that? Is that especially built for this?
Right. That is specially built for this car.
This thing's big enough. And
they did not have that on the shelf. It was not on the shelf.
This thing's big enough, and then you put that on, you had, what, another 2 foot or something?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's like driving a semi-truck down the road.
God, I saw it. Yikes.
I mean, it's big. It's very big. I mean, you have a problem with parking space.
Yeah, really.
Trying to find a place to park.
Are you having fun with it?
Yes, I'm having a ball with it.
Sure.
Yeah.
How about Elvis? Did he come with it?
No, I had to buy that mannequin. I had to buy that mannequin. That mannequin, he will move and talk and do everything, but the batteries are run down on it right now.
Oh, so he does talk.
So he can't do anything right now.
So what do you have under the hood here? You have the stock engine?
I have a 390 stock engine that came with the Cadillac, with a 4-barrel, automatic. And I put radio tires on it, and I put real wire wheels on the car.
Really adds to it, makes it look really nice.
Real wire wheels. They're not hubcaps, they're the real thing. And with the radio tires, it rides a lot better. And then bias tires.
This thing is a land yacht, okay? How much does it weigh?
It'll probably go around over 5,000 pounds.
Wow.
But you know, it gives you a good ride going down the road.
Yeah, I can imagine going on the interstate or something. This thing probably cruises.
It's not a hot rod. It's just a nice car to go out in.
Right.
Not a hot rod. It's just a nice car to go in.
Looks like you're having a lot of fun with it, John.
Well, I am. I'm having a ball. Maybe it's one of these days I'm going to be selling it and somebody else can have a ball with it.
We imported him from Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh Pirate and a Steeler fan, Richard Walleroff. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Very good. We got a 1947 Ford Coupe.
Correct.
Very nice, all in black. Very nice, very nice.
Thank you.
What have you done to it, Richard?
Restored it from the ground up, made a street rod out of it. It was hot rodded over the years, so I brought it back a little bit to original and a little bit hot rodded.
How about underneath there? What's done underneath? Undercarriage.
Undercarriage is Roadster shop frame, Heights front end, 57 Ford 9-inch rear end, 350 ratio. The motor is EZ4 350, 700 R4 trans. That's about it, just the basics.
You didn't chop any? I see everything's just like pretty stock. But the body-wise?
Body-wise, it's stock when I got it.
The roof's not chopped, you get all the chrome on it, the handles are on it, everything's pretty much stock, huh?
Pretty much stock, yeah. When I got it, it was shaved. It was hot rodded over the years, like I say, and somebody had leaded the hood and the trunk. I kept that. We had to add to it a little bit. These two sections on each fender, they were leaded. I cut them out. I found NOS, the wings I call them, and put them back.
Let's go look at the interior. You did a couple subtle things in here, and it looks really nice. Let's talk about the dashboard now. What have you done there?
Smooth the dash, move the gauges, got rid of those, put them in the center.
Where were the gauges at?
To the left of the column, 4 little rectangular gauges.
Okay, they were what, underneath here?
Under the chrome, yes.
Okay, under the chrome, okay. And how about the ones you got in there now? Did they fit right in?
Classic Instruments, no, they did not. We had to make stainless rings to get them to fit in there and sit. Came out pretty nice, I think. And ashtrays were on each side of the grill. We got rid of those. Non-smoking car, yep.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks good. How about the seats? Those custom?
Original. All this interior work was done up here in Ravenna, actually. So it's original frames.
Oh, okay, original frames. Okay, that's nice. That's very nice. This lowered and everything? Got it lowered at all?
2-inch lowered, and like I say, Roadster Shop chassis. He sets the rear springs in. It gives it that nice stance.
Yeah, it looks good. You did a nice job on it. Base clear coat. Hold on a second. Something happened.
Hello everyone, this is your Action News reporter with all the news that is news across the nation.
We'll start with the paint job. Okay, that's what we said before.
That's fine.
How about the paint job? Is this a base clear coat?
No, enamel. With a wet look hardener on it.
What's DAU?
They're enamel.
It's enamel paint, okay.
No clear coat.
Why'd you go with enamel?
The guy had helping me. That's kind of what he wanted to use because he's old, and that's fine.
He's used to it, yeah.
And then I figured too, if I mess anything up, it's easier to.
Oh, sure. You can wet sand it down and everything. It's very nice.
Yep.
I have Bruce Eckhart with me with his 49 Ford Club Coupe.
Right.
Very nice. Very nice.
Oh, thank you. That's our baby.
How many awards have you won with this?
Oh boy.
I can't imagine.
I've got a whole wall full of them.
This thing is so clean. It looks like it just come right off the showroom floor.
It's a very collectible car. It's a rare car.
Sure.
Club Coupes. You'll find a regular coupe, but this is the Club Coupe.
What's the difference?
The regular coupe has roll-down windows in the back.
Okay.
This one has tilt-out windows.
Okay.
The same thing on the trunk. The top goes back farther on the regular coupe.
So is this a step up?
Yes.
That's the step up, okay.
This is the custom series.
Oh, okay.
It's just about all original.
How long have you had it? And where'd you get
I've had it about 8 years. We've had it for about 8 years.
And where's it from?
It's originally from Pennsylvania. A friend of mine bought it in 2000. And, I'm sorry, in 1990 he bought it. Had it for 15 years, put 5,000 miles on it. Suffice to say, he didn't drive it much.
Really? Really? This is a beauty.
And then we bought it.
So is this original paint?
No, it's not the original paint. It was repainted in 1990. And it's all the original color, which is Arabian green.
Arabian green, okay.
And it's not clear coat, base coat, clear coat. It's lacquer.
It's a lacquer paint job. Boy, you don't see many people do that anymore. You know that?
I don't think anybody does it. You can't afford to paint, and the EPA won't let you have it.
Right. They're real strict nowadays. Hey, let's check out on the hood here.
All right. The motor's basically all original. Now it's been cleaned up, of course.
Right.
But
An 8-cylinder V8.
It's 8-cylinder,
Flathead.
85 horse, 239 cubic inch.
I even got a heater with this one too, huh?
Oh yeah, we got a heater.
Is that optional?
That's an accessory back then.
Okay, well, Pennsylvania thought you had to have it, yeah.
The radios was an accessory. Well, all the older cars, the radios, heaters, and everything was accessory.
Right.
It's a very nice cruising car.
So you got an oil bath air cleaner.
Right.
So for somebody who doesn't know, what is an oil bath air cleaner? What's it do?
There's a screening inside, and it fills with motor oil.
You fill the whole thing with motor oil, okay?
Yeah, while you take it up so far, motor oil. And your air goes down around that, and any dirt in the air, the oil collects it, it attracts the dirt. And this one's got the optional oil filter on it.
Oh, okay.
That's an accessory.
A lot of them didn't have it on at all. Okay. There was something that really stuck out in this car when I was looking at it, in the trunk there. Let's go back in the trunk. I want to see what you got going on back here. This tool chest, this wasn't stock.
No, that is not stock Ford.
No.
I like to carry tools for my cars. I didn't want to carry a toolbox. And I was sitting in my garage one day and I had a bright idea. So I made this up. I've got a complete spark plugs, points, rotor, condenser.
Everything you need. Say,
everything, light bulbs, all the wrenches. And the nice thing is, when I'm traveling,
you can't even see it. Well, it looks like it belongs
It locks in place.
Boy, that was really nice. That looks like an accessory they should have sold, huh?
Yeah. It took quite a bit of time with an X-Acto knife, cutting all the little slots out.
Oh, you cut? Oh, geez.
Suffice to say, I ruined a few before I got that.
Yeah, that's nice. That's really nice. So, is this? Do you drive this often?
Oh yeah.
Do you?
Like I said, we drive it quite often. I don't like to put too many miles on it.
You gotta enjoy it though. Sitting at home,
it's
this doesn't.
It's fun to drive.
Sure.
The thing I like about it is a lot of the people can associate with it.
Right.
I mean, this is what they were driving.
A lot of the older people. Yes. Younger people go, what is that thing? What is it? It's not lowered. It has the big wheels on it or anything. And
don't have a big engine.
Yeah.
I don't go vroom vroom when I go down the road. I do have duals on it though.
Is that stock?
You could order them.
Oh, okay.
It was not something that normally come on. It come originally with a single pipe.
Right.
But that's a little bit of variation away from it. It's got Smitty mufflers, so you get the nice hum to them.
Oh, okay, sure.
And but it's a fun car though.
Sure, it's a beaut, Bruce. It's a beaut. We spent the afternoon at the Arby's car cruise here in Salem, Ohio. A perfect summer afternoon, a Saturday. They do it every Saturday, weather permitting. What a great day we had here. For Armstrong Street Scene, I'm Rick Guerrera. I'll see you down the road.